So I'm just thinking now, like if you filming a situation comedy that's
Hmm.
live or at least being recorded live,
Yeah.
I mean, you really do. How do you deal with your different mic positions, wide shots, close ups? Do you have super? Do you have a different microphone set to what a live engineer might lay their hands on, or
Yes, but it isn't so much the microphones. I mean, we will use Neumann U87s and KM84s and 414s, sometimes 416s, Sennheiser going. But no, it's how you pick up the sound. In a situation comedy, you have things called booms, which you sit on and have 21-foot reach with a microphone on the end. And somebody sits there, winds them in and out, and moves and matches the pictures, which is the crew who I'm controlling. And I will go to rehearse and say, well, on that line, I'm going to be on microphone boom A. And then as she walks across there, it's going to move across onto boom C. And then when they interrupt from over that side of the room, that's going to be on D or a standby mic. I've got all planned out and written down in scripted. And you read the script. You don't look at the pictures much. You read the script. As do the boom operators on the floor going, but I've shot 22. I'm supposed to be over there for this person coming in.
yeah,
So they're listening. So, and it has to be planned. And if it moves off plan, well, there'll be and it's not just shadows. You might have seen, black,
yes, yes,
because when you go in there, there's a light on that guy over that side, and you've just shadowed him. And if they cut to that shot early, well, yeah, I know there's a shadow there, but it will never be seen because on shot 22, I'm getting out of there. But you've cut to shot 23 early. And so that takes a lot of practice, which in the studios you get.
Okay, so you do have sufficient rehearsal time for each episode to know what's going on.
Well, that's arguable. Yes, you have rehearsal time. Yeah, it's not live because it's too has been. Yeah.
And all departments obviously get roped into the rehearsals, so you can make your plan of where you're going to put your mics.
Well, yes, you don't physically put mics anywhere because they're movable.
Yeah, they're just where you're going to place them. Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't use any personal mics in something like a sitcom?
Rarely.
Okay.
Rarely. It has been tried. In fact, I've tried it as an experiment. The problem with that is they've got to be hidden. And for close-ups, it's not like on stage. I know lots of West End stage musicals on personal mics.
Yeah.
But they're not being seen in a shot that big.
Yeah.
So they have to be hidden. And of course, they're not arty because there's no perspective, sound. So somebody in a wide shot of the whole room, and in the far corner, somebody walks in the door and goes, hi, it's David here. And it sounds in your face sound. That ain't any good.
Yeah.
Mind you, hearing it from a microphone that's 60 foot away isn't very good either. So there's compromises. So we work. So we don't generally use personal mics in drama sitcoms unless it's in a shot that's going to be produced. It's not live. So later, there's no lip sync. I can replace that line.
Of course, yes.
If it's right. Replacing lines, which is always an option, if you do it later, it means you have to employ the actor for another day at a full actor's rate. They're not very popular doing that. You're not very popular with the production manager for doing that. So we try and get things right.
Yeah, fair enough.
And of course, in, say, a sitcom, which is a big example in the studio, we do have live sound because the audience there have to hear what the actors are saying. Because the only reason the audience are there is to give it an atmosphere and a performance. We can put laughs in always later. Don't need an audience to do that. Americans did it for a long time, still do. Put audience laughs there when there is no audience there. It wasn't done in Britain by almost law, by BBC law. You couldn't replace laughs back in the 60s officially, unless there was a good case. So
it's just much more natural when there is a real audience
absolutely
there in the recording than canned laughter because the response is not natural.
Absolutely. And the point, that's the whole reason it's not natural. And actors have to use it. The reason we also want it is not because people say they can hear canned laughter. You can't hear laughter. You can't hear canned laugh. You hear canned laughter because the reason you can hear it and why I want it, if I tell you a gag, my dog's got nose, and you go, how's it smell? And you go, awful. It does, awful. Then, see, you smile, there's laugh. So I'd wait for that before coming in with my next line.
Right, of course.
That's fine. So that's why it seems real, and why canned laughter doesn't, because the pacing is all wrong.
Right.
And we have to teach actors, because I tell that line, take one, brilliant, huge laugh from the audience, so the actors wait. And when it dies down, natural comedy will come in with their next line. Great. But take one, camera's in the wrong position, the light was off, whatever. Okay, do another take. So do the same lines again, same positions, and the audience laugh. Not as loudly, because they've heard the gag before. But this time the boom was in the way, or there was a shadow in it. So we do take 3. And hopefully move that, and this time it goes up. So we might go up to 5 or 6 takes. On take 5, there's no laughter, natural laughter. And because there's no natural laughter, the actors go, bloody hell, and jump in with their next line. Now, this is a problem. We have to teach actors, it comes down to the sound man again, to wait. And they go, yeah, but they're not laughing. Go, I can guarantee 200% you'll get a huge laugh there. Could be bigger than the first one, because I'm going to put it in post-production afterwards.
Yeah.
What I can't do, though, is I can put in that big laugh, easy. But if you jump in, I can't make that naturally laugh, because you wouldn't naturally have jumped in with that line. And we can shorten things down. So if they leave a long gap with a picture edit, we can make that gap smaller. If you go, actually, I don't want to laugh there, director goes, I don't want to laugh there. It's easy to shorten that gap. It's almost impossible to extend that gap.
Yeah.
We can't extend it. And that's where you and most people think they can hear canned laughter. It's because of the reaction and the pacing of things.
Okay, that's it. That's really interesting. But it fascinates me about what you've just said is it's down to you as the sound person to explain this to an actor, that it's not something that that they're trained to do in actor training, and that there's not some producer stroke director who would teach them that.
I mean, they will have learned that, but it's very difficult when you're in it. And it's like, it is really difficult. Sometimes the actors can't hear or see the audience because the set is deep at the back, behind 3 other sets for one item. So I could put some foldback in there, monitoring for them. I don't want to do that because I want control of
Yes,
that.
yeah.
You wait, trust me, I will do that. And sometimes the laughter won't, and I will replace an entire show's laughter, but it's never recorded without an audience. And to the extent, there was quite a famous TV series quite a few years ago now, called Blackadder. When it first came out, I was a DSS on the first series.
What's a DSS? Deputy Sound Supervisor.
The assistant, Grandma. And so, and it was all shot pretty much on film as a half-hour comedy drama. No laughs, no audience, shot as a drama. And it's very interesting. No audience. So I was doing the post-production sound on it, along with the supervisor. And we had music on. Howard Goodall wrote an orchestral part, all music like a film score. And we spent a lot of time making it like a film, even though it was a BBC situation comedy. And it worked. It was quite nice. 6 half-hour comedy dramas, big name actors, and we all thought, this is very good. It can do well, this. At the end of the first series, and of course not timed for laughs because it's a comedy drama on film, BBC decided that it should have an audience. So it was re-edited to try and put in more gaps, but of course it's film, you don't run long on that. And we then took it to, myself and supervisor, took it to the Paris Theatre, which is in a BBC radio theatre in London, I forget where it is, and showed the audience. And Ben Elton came out, an actor came out and explained about it, and everything, and showed it to the audience and recorded their laughs. Then we went back into post-production and we remixed it because, of course, all that nice music score got hidden and dumped, and Howard, who'd written the music, hadn't written that in mind. Whereas normally, if you're writing music for a sitcom, you'll put punchy bits in on the laughs to go through, and he'd put gentle bits in. The next 5 series that did very well were shot in front of an audience like a sitcom, and did very well, and didn't cost as much money because all the extra time. And that's the other point. Most people, most supervisors, don't use a live sound man to run the PA in a TV studio. Certainly not in a sitcom. We have speakers above the audience, normally line columns or D&B 3s now, which we have control. The supervisor runs and controls.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. One, I will EQ that so that the spill I'm getting when I'm going for their laughs is acceptable. Yep. I can run it quiet when I want to. So if there's one line I have a real problem with and I have to haul like hell on the microphone to pick it up, I will cut the PA on that line so that the audience won't hear it. I don't care because I can put the laugh on later and there's 200 of them and there's 17 million going to watch it home.
Yeah.
If you're a live sound man, of course, you make it perfect for the live audience there.
Yeah.
And I want control of that. And it's no good saying there are some exceptions on something like Have I Got News for You? There is a live sound man there, but he's a broadcast man and he's working really closely with the sound supervisor in there. But it's easier because that's people jumping in all over the place. It is actually easier to have a separate mix on that because you can't keep it up. You can't keep every mic open all the time.
Yeah.
Because that affects the sound incoming and there's people talking out rubbish on it and things, which we will then pick up. But in general, most TV stuff like that doesn't have a live sound man in it.